Thank you everyone for joining us tonight, and we hope you guys are gonna learn a lot. We have a great speaker with us today. I will be introducing in few, and I'm very sure that you guys will be learning very much from her. Thank you for IVPN student for being with us, and thank you everyone for attending. Um, Before we move forward, Michelle, can we go live on Facebook, please? Just as a reminder. So, meanwhile, Michelle, thank you, is taking care of our logistics. We have with us today Dr. Lama Karake. Dr. Lama is a pharmacist with experience in sales, management, and leadership for more than 14 years. She has worked in different positions in pharmaceutical marketing and sales, reaching to be a sales manager in AstraZeneca Lebanon. She then got an accreditation as an international trainer, certified NLP neuro-linguistic programming practitioner, and a diploma holder in life and executive coaching. She will be the perfect fit for us today to introduce us for the basics of pharmaceutical sales and marketing, or sales and marketing in general, and linking them to the pharmaceutical career as a pharmacist, as a trainer, and as a marketeer. So without any further ado, Dr. Lama, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Amar. And allow me first to welcome everyone here today. I'm so excited to have you all because on our webinar from lab to market, where I will focus on the basics of pharmaceutical sales and marketing. And I'm so excited to have you all here, especially that I've been in your place like a few years ago. It's more than a few years ago, but let's not focus on that. So that's why I know, since I was in your place, I know how much it's crucial to be familiar with the sales and marketing functions in the pharma industry. So to kick things off, or before kicking things off, can you please write for me in the chat box your name and from which country are you joining us? I will write Lama from Lebanon, and please do the same. Wow, I love the diversity. Pakistan, Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, Dubai. Nigeria. Nice. So I will keep on receiving your replies. And it's nice to see that you're joining us from all over the area, from Middle East and Africa. Really, I love the diversification. So to kick things off, let me share with you an interesting statistic concerning the pharma industry. Currently, the pharma industry revenues are estimated to be around $1.6 trillion and expected to grow to $2.8 trillion by 2030. So just imagine what a huge number it is. And I want to congratulate you and myself for choosing such a career in pharmacy, because the pharmaceutical industry, it's one of the fastest growing industries worldwide. This landscape, definitely, it gives a lot of opportunities to the professionals like yourself, but it's accompanied with a lot of challenges. And today, I'm gonna help you with my learnings, to sharing my experience and my learnings with you to overcome these challenges. Because Coming from a pharmaceutical background myself, starting definitely by a medical representative, then being promoted to a sales manager, then cross-functionally collaborating with a medical and marketing team, gave me these tangible learnings that I'm about to share with you today. They are very simple, concise, and you're going to have a lot of take-home messages you can implement in your practical life so that you can grow your business. But first, please let me just set some points for today's webinar. I want you all, just as now, to mute your mics. So thank you for abiding to this. And to keep your questions till the end of the webinar, since Dr. Omar and myself, we are allocating a time slot for Q&A. So we're gonna have, and we're gonna answer all of your questions by the end of this webinar. Deal? Good. So now we're gonna begin on our journey in the dynamic world of sales and marketing. But first, I want you to answer this poll that Dr. Amal will share now. How familiar are you with the current trends in pharmaceutical sales and marketing? Are you very familiar if you are already in the pharma industry? Somewhat familiar or not familiar at all? Okay, so around like 62%, they are somewhat familiar, 36% not familiar at all, and around the minority is very familiar. Great. By the end of this webinar, you will all be familiar with the functions of sales and marketing. Okay, so Dr. Omar already introduced me. Let's directly try to delve into the world, as I said, the dynamic world of marketing and sales. Can we please stop the poll, Dr. Omar? Okay, so as I told you, the interesting statistics, I'm gonna share it again, that the pharma revenues is currently totaled by $1.6 trillion and estimated to expand to $2.8 trillion by 2030. That means it's expanding by a CAGR, a compound annual growth rate that is around 6%, which shows really a very nice growth that is accompanied with a lot of opportunities to the pharmaceutical professionals, but yet accompanied with many challenges. First, if I want to give you an overview about the pharmaceutical industry, there are main players or main stakeholders that are first, and the most important, are the medical representative. Definitely, when I say medical representative, I mean under the umbrella of the company he's working or she's working at, okay, with all the functions, medical, marketing, sales, market access, training, all the functions. So first stakeholder is a medical representative with all the accompanied functions, doctors, which are mainly our customers, pharmacies, which can also be our customers, wholesalers, where usually our products are found, hospital staff, if the product we are promoting is prescribed at hospital or used by hospital patients, and the patients, which are the consumers. Usually in all businesses, the customers are the consumers. The consumers are the end users of the products. But in our business model, that is in the pharma industry, our customers are different than the consumers, since Our customers are the physicians, and our consumers are the patients which use our products. So, what is, if I want to give you a very simple definition about sales and marketing. Pharmaceutical sales is about detailing the pharmaceutical professional, the medical rep, the pharmacist that is working at the company. It's about detailing his or her product to the physician or to the customer. While the marketing, it's about positioning the message and the product and the commercializing the product. So pharmaceutical sales is about detailing the product to the physician, to our customer, and marketing is a broader term. Usually selling comes under the umbrella of marketing because marketing is very broad. So marketing is mainly about changing the mindset of the prescriber, that is the physician. It's about commercialization, as I said, advertising and the branding, where the marketing department helps in positioning the product for the customer and help in identifying the need of this customer. You have to know that sales is not only transactional. I want you to think about sales as it is a transformational thing, because it's an art to be mastered. And trust me, when I say it's an art to be mastered, sales is one of the most challenging jobs, yet it's very rewarding because you are really a game changer when you are working in sales. And when I say selling, I don't only refer here definitely to the medical representative, because in a way or another, each one of us want to sell something. If we're not selling a product, we're going to be selling a service. If we're not selling a service, we're going to be selling an idea. That's why the person that has good selling skills and is able to master this art will be able to succeed in his life or her life, not only in his or her business. Okay, so that's why I'm going to repeat it again. Do not think about sales as something only transactional. It is something that is transformational, and it's an art to be mastered. So that's why when you are in sales and you are a customer-facing person, just as in the pharma industry, because definitely we go to see our customers face to face, we're not sitting behind our laptop and we're not calling them by phone, you don't have a second chance to give a first impression. That's why you have to be presentable. You have to take care of your outer appearance. You have to be punctual, not too early, not too late on your appointments. You have to be kind. You have to firm shakely, because your firm shake, it gives an image about your confidence, and it gives a perception to the person in front of you about your confidence. And you have to make small talk, because I'm gonna discuss in a minute how it's important to listen more than to talk, especially for us as salespeople. And you have to know that customers and consumers are getting smarter by the minute. So the real question here, are salespeople getting smarter? And that's why you, as salespeople, if you are aspiring to work at sales, and also if you're not aspiring to work at sales, because I told you, selling is not only about selling a product, it's about selling your service, your idea, your belief. It's about you getting smarter. When you think about sales, there are 3 dimensions you have to take into consideration. First, customers. Second, product. And third, competitors. And I need you to keep the customers on the top of your head, because the most important pillar in your business is customer centricity. And you have to think of customers as people to be served, not prospects to be sold. Because everyone likes to buy, but not everyone likes to be sold. Okay, so that's why I want you to think of customers as people to be served, not prospects or to be sold, and to have this approach that is customer centricity whenever you are dealing with your physicians. That's why you have to know your customers. And since here we already said that our customers are not our consumers, since the consumer is a patient and the customer is a physician, we have to be aware what is the profile of the customer we are facing, because people are not the same. And thus, our approach should not be the same. Salespeople should be known for their agility and their flexibility, and how to adapt their approach according to the profile of the customer or the physician. For example, there are 4 profiles of the customers I want you to be aware of. First, the driver. The driver usually is someone that likes to be in control. He likes to talk, but he talks in command. He's very concise, and thus he likes from you to be concise and directly give him the results. And there is the expressive profile. That is the profile that likes to talk. Sometimes you're gonna go visit him and he likes to talk about his family or about his pet or about what he did. This person or this profile likes to be heard, and that's why it's very crucial to know the profile of your physician and to listen to him. There's the analytical, the one that is driven by data, and usually they are very careful to commit. They are not early adopters of your product, especially if it's a new product. They like the product to be tested and trusted for them to be confident to use it, because they are very analytical, they are very detail-oriented. And there is the last profile that are the amiable, which are very friendly. From the outside, you may think that this profile is the easiest profile. But trust me, working with such profiles, and of course, Yani, I worked with all the profiles, amiable is one of the most difficult profiles, because he's going to be nice to you and he's going to be nice to others, and you will never be able to take from him commitment, except if you were very consistent in your work with him. That's why you have to be aware, as I said, which profile you are dealing with, to know what approach you have to use while dealing with your customer. Humans are not logical creatures. We are creatures of emotions. That's why if people like you, they are more likely to buy from you. And you know what? Now it is the era of digitalization and artificial intelligence. Yet the pharma industry is still investing millions of dollars in the sales teams and in the people for a reason. They are still investing them because you are game changers. You are the ones who grow the business. And that's why the emotional factor is very important. It's very important to master your CRM, customer relationship management, your relationship with the customers. It's very crucial to know your profile of the customers, and it's very crucial to sell emotions, not only logic. That's why the way you're going to talk to about your product or your service to the physician or to the pharmacist, to your customer, it's going to be contagious. That's why I urge you to always be passionate in how you talk, in how you detail your product, and in how you interact with the customer in front of you. Focus on your body language, on your voice, on the words you choose. It's very important, as I said. And I want you to think on ROC, not only ROI. Usually ROI is a term that is used a lot in business, that is return on investment. But I want you to think of ROC, that is return of customer, because a customer that feels respected and satisfied by a business or a service will refer you to his peers and will come to make future purchases or will prescribe your product more. That's why, as I said before, you have to master your customer relationship management. And you have to act with urgency. You have to keep promises and be quick in doing them. If you promised your customer anything, please, please, please do not wait for him next time for him to remind you of the thing you promised him. Because you have to act with urgency and you have to keep your promises. And if you are working with a retail business, you have to create some interesting offers that are time bound, because people hate to miss on good offers. That's why sometimes when you're trying to buy something online, or you're trying to buy a course or a product or anything, you will find this clock that shows you that in 1 hour or in 2 hours you will lose this offer, and this gives us an urge to buy on the spot. This factor of urgency will push your customer to act now. So it's very important. So when I said act with urgency, I meant double meaning. First, commit to your word and keep your promises and be urgent in committing to your word. And second, always, always, always create like compelling offers, definitely with collaboration with your company and with the retail team, so that the customers don't miss on the opportunities or on the offers you were willing to offer. Follow up. It's crucial to follow up, but do not overdo it. Because sometimes salespeople may seem so pushy. And I told you, people like to buy, but they don't like to be sold. So you have to be smart in your approach with your customers. Of course, you have to do follow-up. Of course, you have to take commitment when you are in a call and while you are interacting with them, but do not overdo it. Product. I wrote here that knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is power if used. But if it's not used, it's not power. That's why you have to be very, very confident in your product knowledge. You have to know about your product more than the physician himself, and more about your therapeutic area more than the doctor himself or herself, because only then you can tailor your message according to the needs of the customer. And later on, I'm going to tell you how will you master your selling process. And while mastering it, you have to uncover, by questioning the physician or the customer, you have to uncover the need, and then you have to tailor the message according to the need of the doctor. Because features never change about a product, but benefits do. For example, feature is taking 1 tablet per day. The benefit is better compliance. So this FAB technique that is known about feature and benefits, it's your job. Do not assume that the doctor will do it for you, because doctors will only take the message you tell them. That's why you have to translate the features of your product or service to the benefit, to the solution of a problem or a need that the customer has. And usually, this FAB technique is done by the marketing department, since we are talking today about the sales and marketing departments. And this message is disseminated or spread to the customers, definitely via the sales team. Some people say, or some sales people say, like, my product or my service will not sell because it's expensive. It's never about price. It's always about value. Keep it in your mind. No matter how expensive or high cost your product or service is, if the value is perceived, it will not be that expensive. So I want you to focus on value rather than price. And this is what we call the value proposition to consider. It's perceived value versus perceived cost. As for the competitors, I told you before, knowledge is power. Knowledge about your product and knowledge also about the competitors. But never, ever go to your physician and talk about competitors proactively. because then you will do publicity for them. لأنه bad publicity is still publicity. Even if you are talking about them, you are working like as a reminder of the competitors. So it's good to be knowledgeable about your competitors' information, but always be reactive, not proactive. And you have to focus on your USP, that is unique selling proposition. What is your competitive edge that you have? And you have to sell the difference, because every molecule is unique. Even if it's in the same class, all the ACE inhibitors you say are the same, or antibiotics are the same, or the ARBs are the same. No, they're not the same. Each molecule has something different. Maybe the mode of action, the onset of action, maybe the efficacy, maybe the compliance, if 1 tablet or 2 tablets. So you have to sell the difference. And usually who helps you in selling the difference is also the marketing department, as they formulate a message about this product to help in the positioning that we talked about in the beginning of our webinar today. This is the USP I was talking about before. That is the unique selling proposition. That is finding your competitive edge and to sell the difference. You have to understand the characteristics that customers value in your product. You have to rank yourself and your competitors by these criteria, identify where you rank well so that you will know how to sell the difference better, and to preserve your unique selling proposition and to sell it. So, the selling process. I think you all heard this statement before, but I'm gonna repeat it because I can't stress on it like enough. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's why you have to plan your calls ahead of time. You have to plan your encounter with the customer ahead of time. You have to prepare for your call ahead of time. How? By knowing your physician's profile, by asking in the pharmacy about the physician's prescription habits, by giving an attentive ear, as I said, to listen more, to know what is going on. So that's why prepare before visiting your customer. Then make contact, as we said. In your contact, and I'm gonna repeat so that the messages will be like, will stick more. You don't have a second chance to give a first impression, so be punctual with your appointment, shake your hands firmly, maintain your eye contact with the customer, take care of your outer appearance because you need to be presentable since you are in a customer-facing function. And then when you make contact, start questioning the doctor to uncover the need and to establish the need. And then clarify how your product or service will meet this need and sell it. And never leave any call without closing it. Because if you close it, your call, without taking a commitment that the physician will try your product or will prescribe it, it's as if you cooked something and you didn't taste it. Trust me. That's why when you cook something, taste it. And when you do a call, just take a commitment, a closure from the physician, and you can check from the buying signals, his body language, if he's leaning forward, if he has open or she has open body language, if they ask you about the price, if they ask you about the mode of how many pills to take, any question is an opportunity for you to sell more. So I'm gonna tell you 5 qualities that gonna make you a great salesperson. First, active listening and communication skills. God created for us 2 ears, 1 mouth, so use them in that ratio. Always listen more than you talk. Passion, because I said energy is contagious, and that's why you have to be passionate about your product. And if you love your product, the doctor will love it. Commitment, you have to be committed and consistent in your work. Confidence, because he will not trust your product if you're not being confident. And empathy. Empathy, because as I said, we are humans and doctors are humans, and sometimes they need to be heard. They need to talk and someone to listen to them. But keep in mind, for them, you may be their friend, but for you, they will always be your customer. Because sometimes when you break this barrier and you are really friends with your customer, you cease to ask for business from them. You don't want to gain a friend and lose a business partner. So that's why be empathetic, be genuine in your interaction with your customers, but keep it in mind that for them, you may be a friend. For you, there will always be your customer, and you will always ask for business from them. Sales metrics and analytics. Sales metrics are very important because they help sales teams measure their effectiveness and efficiency with the overall goal of improving methodologies and processes to drive sales. What are the key performance indicators? The KPIs. KPIs usually are used as a tool to follow up on the quantitative work of the medical representative. And these KPIs are important for the company to monitor, but they are not less important to you as a person to know if you are meeting your targets or not. So KPIs may include like how many physicians you have to visit per day. You have to expect if you want to apply to a medical representative position in a company, you will be accountable for KPIs. A certain number of doctors will be visited per day, a certain number of pharmacists will be visited per day. What is your quantitative and qualitative monthly target, like in terms of boxes and in terms of money? How much you covered from your list this month, if you covered all of your list, or you covered 90% of your list of your customers, and your annual target, because definitely as sales people and medical people and marketing people and all people in the company, definitely our ultimate goal is to achieve the target that is set by the company. Now, we talked about the sales. Now we're going to talk about the marketing. But I need you to keep it in your mind that sales and marketing, these two terms, they go hand in hand. And as I told you, marketing is a broader term, but sales lies under the umbrella of marketing. And when you talk about marketing, pharmaceutical marketing, remember these 4 P's that are product, price, promotion, and place. Product, definitely, because we will be accountable for a certain product, and we will help in positioning and promoting this product to our customers. Price, because the same molecule and the same product with the same company may have different prices in different countries, because there are many factors, economical factors and governmental factors. There are many factors that play a role in the pricing. Promotion, that is usually done on the level of the medical representative to the physicians or to the pharmacists or to the hospital staff. And the place where the product is found, whether in the wholesaler or in the pharmacies, to be sold to our consumers that are our end users. And there are 3 methods of pharmaceutical marketing. Direct to consumer advertising. These are more like used for OTC, over-the-counter drugs, because usually they are used using the TV or the radio or prints to be distributed. Go-to-market, and here we are interested because the go-to-market is our job as pharmacists, as medical sales representative, where we go to the market and detail our product to the customers that are the physicians or the pharmacies. And managed market solutions. Managed market solutions, it means when the company, it makes some bids with the insurance companies or with the governmental entities for the product to be reimbursed, especially if the product is of high cost. Okay? So these are the three methods of pharmaceutical marketing: direct to consumer advertising using TV and radio, go-to-market, our job where we go to the customers and we detail our product, and managed market solutions where we agree with a company, with insurance companies or social security, governmental entities to reimburse our products. For the people who already work in the pharma industry or who are aspiring to work in the pharma industry, they're gonna hear a lot about segmentation and targeting. It's where you identify and classify customers into categories according to their influence on the business and targeting them accordingly. For example, if the doctor has heavy load and he sees a lot of patients in your specific therapeutic area, you may categorize this doctor as an A doctor, and hence you visit him 3 times per month or 2 times according to the capacity. Okay, if a doctor has a medium load, you can visit him twice per month, and if he has low load, you can visit him 1 month. That means you are segmenting, you are identifying and classifying your customers into categories, into segments, and then targeting them accordingly, whether 3 times, 2 times, or 1 time. Market research is very important in marketing. Why? And here they refer to it as a PMRA, that is Pharmaceutical Market Research Analysis, where you can do surveys and you can do market research for your product to check the product's potential reach and market penetration capabilities. And also it can help companies to market the competition and identify the potential unmet needs and value their products accordingly. That's why market research is an important tool to be used in marketing. And today, I'd like to include digital marketing because, as I said before, we are in the era of digitalization, and we have to ride the wave with this digitalization, because the pharma is one of the slowest industries to adopt the digital marketing. And since everything now is going towards digital marketing, it's very crucial to ride the wave, as I said. Digital marketing, it is the use of strategies and technologies to promote products to the right audiences across digital channels, whether by emails or social media, or using iPads to detail, or using virtual reality experiences in a congress or in a symposium. So digital marketing is important. Why? Because I told you it is the era of digitalization, and consumers and healthcare providers are using online channels to research about diseases, about treatments, and about buying pharmaceutical products. But here more, they may buy pharmaceutical products OTC. They will not buy like something related to a specific disease online. We still didn't reach this step. And the pharma companies, as I told you, because they are the slowest to adopt this digital marketing approach, they need to evolve from the legacy of B2B sales to the competitive D2C model, which is B2B means business to business. When we sell, like a medical company, pharmaceutical company, to the doctor, he's also a business, then he will prescribe. D2C model is direct to customer model or direct to consumer model. That's why a lot of pharmaceutical companies are studying now the option of opening also e-commerce to be able to adopt this new model that is D2C. But if you try to ask me about this, I don't believe that in the pharmaceutical companies it will be that adopted, because we need the factor of our customers, the physicians, because they are the ones who are prescribing our products to the patients. So I want you to share with me one learning, but before that, I want to see if someone has any question. Then I will ask you to share one learning.
Okay, first of all, thank you very much, Dr. Lama, for the amazing presentation and the great information you shared today. I'm very sure everyone learned a lot. We already have some questions on our panel. So Zubair Sadiq asks us, can you explain how advertisement in pharma industry can lead to more sales? I think only OTC products can have advantage, and we usually see such drugs only. Can we advertise drugs other than OTC?
Thank you for your question. As I said, this works more on OTC. I said it before because usually when it's a specific disease, it needs a physician to diagnose this disease and to prescribe the right medication for this patient. That's why advertisement, definitely it can work using television or radio, but mainly for OTC, not for different products.
Okay, our second question from Hind. What metrics should pharmaceutical companies prioritize to measure the effectiveness of their sales and marketing efforts beyond traditional sales figures?
Okay, definitely. First, I said the most important thing is the annual target, and then you chunk it down to the monthly target and how many doctors you are seeing, how many coverage of your list. But more important metrics, I believe the KPIs should not be like key performance indicators. It should be keep people involved, keep people inspired. That's why the people are the most important asset in the business. We have to work on our people, and then our people will work on our business.
Okay, our next question from Muhammad. Do you believe that AI tools have the potential to replace traditional sales representatives in the pharmaceutical industry? If so, what are the advantages and limitations of this shift?
Okay, I don't know if he was with us in the beginning of the webinar because I mentioned this point that pharmaceutical companies are investing millions of dollars every year in salespeople. Why? Because we cannot deny the fact that the human factor is one of the most important factors in our business, your interaction with the physician, because they wouldn't invest that much. Usually, the highest cost on the pharmaceutical company is the salespeople and the sales force. They wouldn't invest that much. But as I said, because humans are creatures of emotions, they are not creatures of logic, we need these emotional creatures that are us to interact with the doctors. We will not be replaced by AI. We can be supported by AI, whether by generating emails that works as a reminder or by sending, but a robot will never replace us because we are creatures of emotions and we sell emotions, we don't sell logic.
Okay. Madonna Rizq asks us, I'm a recently graduated pharma student and just starting to learn about being a medical representative, and I had the following questions. How to be reactive instead of proactive when it comes to competitor products, how to
Mhm.
close a physician, and how to deal with a physician who doesn't want to meet. So there are three questions. Our first
Okay.
question is how to be reactive instead of proactive.
Okay. Okay. When I said to be reactive, so if the doctor mentions something about the competitor, you are already knowledgeable about it and you answer. But you don't go proactively talk about the competitor because, as I said, bad publicity is good publicity and you don't want to do any publicity for them. So reactive is only when the doctor mentions it. What is the second question, Omar?
The second question is how to close a physician.
To close you don't close a physician, you close a call.
Yes, I think she means about the commitment, maybe.
Yes. Okay, it's according to the profile of the doctor because I said there are different profiles of the doctor. But after you list the benefits and the features or the FAB technique I talked about in our call, always remember 3 is a magical number. That's why I want you always to keep your messages to 3 points and work. These 3 points will work as a reminder by the end of the call and say to the doctor, after I mentioned this benefit and this, will you promise me that the second patient, and you mentioned the profile of the patient you need, you will prescribe for him or for her this product, this is a commitment. Or you can ask him, is there any reason that will stop you from prescribing my product to the patient profile that will come this week? This is a commitment. But you amend your commitment, as I said, according to the profile of the doctor.
Thank you for the great answer. And how to deal with a physician who doesn't want to meet?
Okay. There is no physician that I don't want to meet, actually. Maybe he's so busy, which this should give us an urge more to see him. Okay? So I want to ask you, and I'm going to urge you, salespeople sometimes feel, I don't want to follow this doctor. Maybe he doesn't want to listen to me. I want you to step on your ego and only think that you need your customer to listen to your message, but be professional, which means go to your customer, call him, send him a message, tell him, I've been trying like 3-4 times to see you, and that is not being possible. Can you please give me an appointment? And I don't believe there's any physician that don't want to see any rep, because if he's not seeing you, then he will not see the competitors. Then he will be omitted from your list. But if he's on your list and he's seeing a competitor, even if one mad rep in the field, then there is an opportunity to see him. You have to find just the way. One time, I recall, I took an appointment as a patient, and I went to this physician as a patient just to break the ice.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Lama. And you can see how much Dr. Lama is passionate about this work. And you can see that sales and marketing really needs passion. And Dr. Lama, if I may add on your answer that, as you know, the 20-80 rule, 20% of the doctors gets 80% of the business. So
Yes.
as you mentioned, we need to omit some people that they do not will to see like any of us or the competitors, if I may add this, and if you agree with me.
Yes. But if he's not willing to see, and he's seeing your competitor, but he's not willing to see you because he doesn't know you and he doesn't like to have new relationships, it's
Then
your
you need
job
to break
to
the
find
ice.
a way. Yes.
Okay, our next question is from Ahmad Al-Akkad. Hello, Ahmad. From your perspective, how can you deal with amiable physicians?
Okay. As I said, anyway, physicians are the easiest and the most difficult physicians. Why? Because they are very friendly. But as they are friendly to you, they will be friendly to others. So these are you take them by emotions. You let them talk. You talk to them about the safety of the product. They are if you tell them that other doctors are using this product and they are so happy with it, they will use it. But they are not early adopters. These people, they care about safety. They care about peace. They care about emotions. So you have to talk to them with their language.
Okay, our next question from Hind again. What are the challenges and opportunities in expanding pharmaceutical product sales globally? And how can companies tailor their strategies to different regions and market?
Okay, this is a very, very broad question. Okay, but usually there are different functions in the pharmaceutical company. That is, as I said, market access, medical, marketing team, sales team. They all work cross-functional to achieve these results.
Okay, our next question from Rafa. The difference between selling and marketing, and what do you mean by not being sold?
Okay, so the difference, as I said, the marketing is a broader term, but the two terms come hand in hand. So selling comes under the umbrella of marketing, because we said marketing is about positioning and commercialization. Okay, who will help in positioning and in promoting this message? The salespeople. That's why selling comes under the umbrella of marketing. First. Second question is, what do I mean that people don't like to be sold? That people, if it's an internal decision, they are buying a product, they will do it happily. But if forcibly someone is pushing them and they're not being like convinced with the product, they don't like to be forcibly like convinced with the product. That's why I said people like to buy, but they don't like to be sold, which means you have to work on your physicians and you have to convince them with your product, not by being pushy, but by changing their perspective and by changing their mindset concerning towards your product.
Okay, so our next question is, I want to ask about the market edge. Will the pharmaceutical industry always carry the changing edge for a certain molecule or drug?
I didn't understand the question.
Okay, please, Mihak, can you please re-ask your question in another wording, and we will ask it once you send it. Muhammad asks us, do you expect that the human capacity in the field of direct selling will diminish in the future based on today's tremendous technical changes? I think you answered this question.
And my answer is no, a big no. No.
Okay, Jana asks us, I understand that the humans are emotional creatures, but how do you deal with physicians who have studied for years and did their PhD and their subsequent rudeness as a fresh graduate or an undergraduate medical representative?
Okay. So I want you as a medical representative to think about the physician as peer-to-peer, okay? You are a pharmacist and he's a physician, and he needs you to know about your product and information about your product. And he needs you to be a partner with the company you're working at. Because, of course, also companies are investing in physicians because they are important stakeholders. That's why when I say a creature of emotion, I don't say like go have fun with him and laugh with him. You have a message and you go to promote this message and you go to disseminate and convey this message to the doctor. But whatever you say, it's about 7% what you say. Remember this percentage, it's 7% what you say and 93% how you say it. This, I'm focusing on the emotional creatures, like how you say it, the passion, your body language. But at the end of the day, you are a professional person. You are a professional salesperson that is promoting data and promoting statistics and promoting information to the doctor. You're not going there not to waste your time or to waste his or her time.
Okay, great. I know our time is starting to end, but we have some questions about ethical considerations, and I think it's nice to take them.
Yes.
How can pharmaceutical companies balance aggressive marketing strategies with ethical considerations to avoid potential conflicts of interest and ensure patient trust?
Okay. In reputable companies and credible companies, there's something called COC, that is Code of Conduct, okay? And it is related to compliance. So there are certain approaches we cannot adopt with the physicians because they are unethical, okay? So, and the doctors know that. So if the company is dealing with doctors in an unethical way, I'm sure the compliance will shut this company or it will make it pay a lot of fines. And it happened a lot with Pfizer and with other companies if they breach the compliance code. That's why if you are in a multinational company, there is a compliance code you cannot breach. Okay? And there are a lot of approaches you can adopt that are within the compliance because there is partnership. You are not bribing a doctor. You are partnering with a doctor. You are doing business with him so that he is convinced with your product and he prescribes your product more.
Okay. Zubair is asking something related, which is, what are your thoughts about giving gifts to physicians to promote your product? Because in my country, pharma companies do such schemes that personally I don't like. Do you have something to add about the answer you said?
As I said, doctors know. Doctors know that professional companies do not do that, but you can do a service in a different way, not to bribe him, but to be your partner, as getting him as a speaker if he's a good doctor or a key opinion leader to talk about your product, as doing a screening campaign, as doing a staff meeting at the hospital, as getting him a professional medical journal, so as sponsoring a flight to a symposium or a congress. There are a lot of ways we can work with our physicians, and we can budget our action plan tailored to them, but without being unprofessional. And trust me, if you are professional, doctor will know the difference, and he treats you as a professional person, and he will not ask from you to do such things if he knows in which company you are working at.
Okay, we still have one related question to this topic: how to deal with physician requesting a service and will not recommend your product till service is done. Also, how to deal with a physician who refuses to write your medication.
Okay. First, who's requesting to do a service, you have to ask yourself, is he a good caliber to work with? Do you want to invest in him? And if you invest in him, will you have the right ROI, that is return on investment? If so, then why not? You are investing in your customers. If not, then you don't care. And
Okay, we still have 3 to 4 questions, and it's already 8. Do you want us to take them?
Yes, sure. I don't mind. We'll give extra 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Okay. How can pharmaceutical sales and marketing teams adapt and innovate in response to industry disruptions and the changing market dynamics?
Okay, usually the starting point for nobody will get into the company as a marketing manager or in the marketing department. Also, always in my 15 years experience in the pharma industry, your starting point is a medical representative, and you take it from there. You will be promoted to a sales manager, to a supervisor, to associate brand manager, to marketing manager, to medical science liaison. It depends on your aspiration and on your interest. So the starting point is always the medical representative. What is the second part of the question, Dr. Amar?
The second part of the question was, let me check it. 1 second. Adapt and innovate in response to industry disruptions and changing market dynamics. I think you answered it. To industry
Yeah,
disruptions and changing market dynamics.
I think at our level, when we are a medical sales representative, don't waste your time in thinking about such things, because when something disruption is happening or a layoff is happening, it will not happen on your level. It will be a managerial decision. So let's focus on the tasks you're accountable for. That is achieving your target, achieving your KPIs, promoting your message.
Yes. Hind asks us, what are the best practices of managing post-market surveillance and addressing issues that arise after a drug's release?
I didn't understand her question.
I think she's talking about post-market surveillance if an issue arises, like something
Adverse
bad
event.
about the product. Yes. How to manage something that arises after
Okay.
the product is marketed.
Usually there are policies and certain procedures that are taken by the companies, and they will brief you about it in the company. So they tell you, مثلا, if a doctor مثلا, said that an adverse event happened on this product for this patient, you directly fill in an adverse event report and you raise it up to your manager and to the medical team, and then you report it. So each company has its own sets of every company has its own set of regulations and reports to be filled and to be done.
Okay, and what are the essential skills and competencies that the professionals should focus on to excel in pharmaceutical sales and marketing roles?
Okay, I said the 5 qualities: how to be committed, how to be passionate, how to listen actively, how to be confident, and how to be empathetic.
Okay, so with that, our questions are done. Thank you, Dr. Lama, for the amazing presentation, and thank you everyone for your active attendance and interaction. If you want to know more about Dr. Lama, you can follow her on Instagram. I grow by Lama, her profile. Maybe Dr. Lama, you can type it in the chat box for people to have access to it, so that they can follow you on Instagram. They can follow your tips about life coaching, about coaching related to this stuff.
Thank you, Dr. Amar. It was my pleasure to help in educating and to help in empowering our future pharmacists, and I'm here to support.
Thank you very much. I don't know if you're hearing me because I faced a
Yes.
technical. Okay, I
Yes.
think you're hearing me now.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you very much, Doctor, for taking our invitation and for being with us today. And
It's my pleasure.
thank you everyone for your attendance. By the way, I saw some of the take-home messages that people wrote, and I think they learned a lot. They were typing
I
that in the
read
chat
them. I
box.
was excited to
So
read them.
Yes. Uh, so thank you for your time. Thank you everyone for your attendance. Um, Thank you for Michelle and the IVPN student for letting this happen. And everyone, if you're interested to learn more about pharmaceutical marketing and sales, please register in our IVPN pharmaceutical marketing listserv. You can access it from IVPN link from IVPN website, list page, and pharmaceutical marketing. We are going to have more sessions and more discussions about these topics. Ruba, yes, there is a recording. We can share it with you guys. And Michelle also sent Dr. Lama's LinkedIn profile for you guys also to follow. So I think we can call it for the night. Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Lama,
you.
and thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.